Hi, everyone. My name is Stephanie Mann, and I am the Associate Director of Crowdfunding at UCLA. Currently run and manage all of our crowdfunding efforts across the university. So Spark is the university's official crowdfunding platform. We work with student organizations like yours all year long to make student projects a reality. So whatever it is that you as students need to build, create, wherever you need to travel to, etc., we help you fundraise to do that. What is crowdfunding? If you don't know, crowdfunding is essentially bringing together large amounts of people, usually at low dollar donation amounts, around a common goal. Why utilize Spark? So at this time, Spark is the most given to online giving site at UCLA. What's unique about Spark is we have the ability to identify and put a spotlight on causes that our community is truly passionate about. We're also able to mobilize these efforts really quickly through this grassroots peer-to-peer approach. You bring the knowledge and the passion of your and the knowledge of your subject matter, right? Everyone here is an expert on their student organization. And then we work with you to teach you sort of how to become a fundraiser. So you learn how to tailor your message to attract the widest audience possible, how to ask people for money. And I promise it's not as scary as it seems. And most importantly, you learn how to make people care about what you're doing and feel confident investing in you. So how the process works is first, you have an idea within your student organization. Maybe you want to fundraise to build a soccer playing robot, or you want to travel to construct a solar powered water system in a previously underserved community. You're going to ask yourself these questions. First, you're going to say, do we have specific measurable outcomes and compelling emotional stories to tell? Is there a sense of urgency correlated to accomplishing our goal? Do we have a small team of 2 to 5 project leaders that can assist with campaign planning, pre-launch work, and keeping the rest of the team motivated? Is there a promise from your other teammates to fearlessly ask others, even people they personally know, to donate? And do you have the ability to report back on the impact of donations within 90 days? If all of that's in place, you submit an application and it's approved by our office. And then we spend the next 4 to 6 weeks working together to develop a campaign. Having at least 2 to 5 dedicated staff or volunteers to help build the marketing plan and site is required from us to host a project, because we do provide that expertise and consulting and strategy help, but we aren't student engineers, right? We need teams to tell their story, and we're here to guide you on how to do that and tell it in a way that engages the widest audience possible. Crowdfunding is also not a build it and they will come model. So it's really important to build that compelling campaign, but real work happens when the campaign officially launches and the project and the team is actively fundraising for 30 days. When the project wraps, it's also important that teams report back on their results. It's just good stewardship. So in 90 days, you should be able to update donors on how their funds are being put to use. A little bit more about the application process, specifically in your case being a School of Engineering, Samueli student organization. When you submit your application, it's important that you put that you're a student organization and the name of that organization here, but I also just want you to indicate somewhere in this box that you are a Samueli School of Engineering student org. And it's also really important that you get in touch with the School of Engineering's development team before you submit that application. So you want to reach out to, most likely Nathan, let him know that you're interested in a Spark campaign for your organization, especially with projects that involve travel or the purchasing of equipment, materials, things like that. There are purchasing processes that you need to abide by. And engineering is really going to be able to let you know what you can fundraise for, how you can expect to receive those funds, all of those really fun elements, right? We're going to ask you in the application, are you a registered student organization? Does the School of Engineering know about this application? Have they given you the okay? It's also important to know if you already have a UCLA Foundation bank account. Nathan can definitely share that information with you. And if you don't have one, don't worry, we could definitely open one for you. other things it's important to know. One, what's your budget? How much are you trying to fundraise? And specifically, how will you use those funds? You want to factor in that every single donation to UCLA is charged with a 6.5% gift fee. So when you're setting your budget, you want to raise 6.5% more than what you think you need, right? Just a quick note on this 6.5% gift fee. It is the lowest gift fee in the UC system. And if you work with third-party platforms like Kickstarter, like GoFundMe, they charge upwards of 11%, and they have additional credit card fees, which Spark does not. Yay. When will you need your funding? So like we talked about, right? We build that campaign out for 4 to 6 weeks, but then you also have 30 days where the campaign's live collecting funds. After that, then you're going to work with the School of Engineering, right, to actually access those funds. So when you're applying, you really want to think about that and the time you'll need, and you want to start working with us typically at least 2 months before you actually need those funds in hand. Finally, who are you promoting this to? What does your social media following look like? Do you have several organization members who are committing to sharing the project with their personal and professional networks? Are there any local businesses that you're willing to reach out to? Can you look at applying for grants, things like that? On average, you need to raise $5,000. To raise $5,000, you need about 40 donors, which equates to about 900 individual asks statistically. So that can be reaching out to someone directly multiple times. That can be social media impressions. That can be email marketing. But yeah, on average for $5,000, about 40 donors. And then the final thing I want to talk about is just the project development process itself and what we kind of provide as a service through that period. So when the project's approved, we start project development, and it's a series of 4 meetings where we teach you the tips and the tools of crowdfunding. So these 4 meetings cover everything from website development to digital marketing and social media promotion. We break it up into 4 meetings so that teams can manage the workload across the month of project development. We start with things that take the longest, like website development and a project video. And then we move on to marketing, social media, all those kinds of things. At each step, we provide examples of what past teams have done, which is really helpful resource for teams as they're building out their campaign. This Trello board is really key to a lot of project success. So once the meetings are complete, you're ready to fundraise. And then for the next 30 days, it's heads down, foot on the gas pedal, talking about this campaign everywhere. Because the number one reason why people report that they gave to a crowdfunding campaign is just because someone asked.